Mic test. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Hellbound? Good to see ya. It's no noise time. I am Z Rex. It is, what is it? The 13th of December, just shy of 11 in the AM for episode number 340. We are racking these hoes up. It'll be 400 before I know it. Holy crap, it does not seem like I have done that many, but let's get it in. We got some decent price action on some majors. We got some new highs on the Dow. Pretty wild. It also is at the highest daily DMI since 2017. I just saw earlier when I was kind of just browsing before the show. That's pretty wild. Atom and Osmos, not really phased. I know today they're down, but overall, not even phased by some of the selling pressure. Yesterday, they actually went up like 20%. Pretty wild. What else we got that kind of stands out? Don't mind the VIX number. That's just like a roll in the contract. So that's not obviously, if VIX was up 16%, the Dow, or sorry, ES would be pretty hammered. Wow, ES is over 4,700. And other than that, we do have the Fed in the morning or in the afternoon tomorrow, or is it today? Wait, today's Wednesday, and oh shit, it's today in about 2 hours. Oh snap! The Lord Powell's going to speak. Yeah, whatever. Let's start with Mama Bear as we typically like to do. And we did get that magenta printed candle on the daily on Monday. So that kind of sucks. And we did just get a little doji at the bottom of it. So the tail's higher. So that's kind of cool. It didn't get a lower tail. That would have been a lot worse of a candle print. And today we're building one, trying to reverse it. So this isn't the worst setup here. And as we talked about on Monday, if this candle can get engulfed and we get back above this like 40, pretty much 44,000 level again, like by the weekend, I would consider that uber bullish. And I would actually be looking for at least a test of 48,000 if that were to happen. So we do have to be cautious, though. These magenta candles are no joke. And a lot of times you will get selling pressure from these. And I did a little bit more analysis on, hold on, let me take off the mama real quick. I did a little bit more analysis on GBDC because it also printed one. Here, let me go to that real fast. Let me see. But, funny enough, GBDCs is actually about to get overtaken already today if it closes above 33.5. So that's actually pretty cool. I would put that in the very bullish category if it does close like this. We still got 420 left in time, though. But the last two times that this happened, one was earlier in the summer, and it was about, look at this. This is pretty interesting, about 40 days and about 17-ish% drawdown, which ended up just being a very good buy the dip opportunity, retesting structure. That was nice. But then we have to go way back in time to see the next one. And I mean way back. I gotta go scrolly, McScrollson. Here we go. We're still going. Yeah, that's right. We got to go all the way back to 2017. Pretty crazy. So all the way back in 2017 was the last one we had. And it was right here, which actually had let's see. What is this? A 35% drawdown in around 36 days. So I found it pretty interesting that both times they were around 35 to 40 days. And they also were both buy the dip opportunities. Pretty interesting there. Here's one that's an example of when they just get negated instantly. Almost kind of what we're seeing right now, technically. You can see here then within like 5-6 candles, it closed back above it and moonshot. That is very indicative of these magenta candles. It's kind of a make it or break it price zone for the body on that. And so we are getting one of those here. Again, already having a pretty nice reaction. And this closing above, as I just mentioned a moment ago, 33.50 would be pretty damn sexy. Let's jump out to the weekly. Yeah, weekly is fine. Let's go to the 3-hour. We're battling way up here in the power zone. Bears and bulls are both up here, so you don't see that very often. Interesting, on the 3-hour, I didn't notice this. We've got double magentas in here with a little bit of temp resistance at about 35. So, man, if this daily candle could close above 35, that would be uber sexy. That's probably asking a little bit too much for the bulls, but we'll see. maybe on Friday, we'll definitely be able to touch up on that one. But yeah, so this is looking pretty good, and just kind of odd too that in 30 days, 35 to 40 days after getting those signals, we did see a 16 and 30 or so percent drawdown. Let's say let's kind of extrapolate from that just to kind of see. Let's do some chart voodoo. Weirdly enough, look where that is, about 15 or 13%. Sorry, can't read good. Is Hey, what's going? It's actually a pretty complex formula on there. I can't really actually share that, but yeah, it just reads the trends, and like I said, it confuses me even already trying to think about how to do it. But no, yeah, it's a very serious algo that reads all the previous price candles, and it will print and indicate that the trend is ending when you do get those printed. So, but yeah, I can't share the exact algo of how that happens. Anyway, we got back to about 40, maybe one day, but I don't know. We'll have to see about that. We'll take that slow. So about 40 days to the trend line is about 14%. So that's pretty interesting. And if we went to 30, what would that be? Like 30 something? Look at this. 37 would actually fill this gap and be around the 200 DMA, which is kind of also interesting. Although, to be fair, oops, I'm trying to keep this on here. To be fair, the 200 DMA would be a lot higher, if that did take another few weeks. But regardless, it is testing structure, though. All this would be very interesting and probably a decent buying opportunity if that were to happen. Although that would scare a shit ton of people and question the bull's strength a little bit. So maybe just a more shallow one, or just not one at all and just the bulls taking the reins and saying, suck it. So, and as we just grind up this 21 in structures, higher highs and higher lows, you got to lean with the bulls still, but we are definitely cautiously bullish, especially right under 44K, which was our target for this run. Just about like 2,400 was for Ethereum, which we both hit these horizontals like the Jesus man. Let's see. I'm going to brighten this up a little bit. Y'all probably can't see that one. Interestingly enough, Ethereum did not print a magenta candle. And the futures also did not print magenta candles either. So we only got it on Bitcoin and GBTC. So that's kind of interesting. Barely holding on here to the 21 on Ethereum. Ethereum does look a little bit more heavy right there. And you can see this. We do have a magenta candle on the 458, and we're unable to even get above that. So this one's a little bit more concerning than Mama Bear. And below like 2230 handle, yeah, you could make the argument that this is trying to work its way down to maybe the mid 2000s. Or I'm sorry, mid 2000s would be up here. The mid, like, whatever. Let the mid 20 aughts. I don't know. How would you actually say that? I don't even know. 2050. That's how we're going to say that. So yeah, it's a little bit different. Let's go over to Bitcoin and see if we have that same kind of structure. Yeah, a little bit of the same structure. So pretty much what I'm looking for this week is for bulls to dismiss this sell-off and just have a little bit of continuation and keep riding these short-term moving averages, aka the 21 EMA, which it has been doing very nicely since late October. So that would be a big change in behavior if this starts to break down from here. But as of right now, this is a pretty good reaction. And I bet you by the end of this weekend, we should probably get resolution on this. I would kind of be surprised with the volatility up and stuff like that if we didn't. All right, moving on. Litecoin is kind of just lollygagging here. Unfortunately, it did make a lower tail on the candle, so that kind of sucks. But we are in kind of just a real good support zone in the low 70s, so can't hate it with structure trumping oscillators and everything else. Higher highs, higher lows, riding the trend line. Can't be too scared about this until we start breaching like 70. What the hell? Ugh. Spectrum, you trash, son. I have no other options either, which makes it even shittier. Monopoly crap. Obvious major resistance at 23 on Ethereum Classic, but hey, we're building a nice chart still, so bulls just got to defend the $18 handle. XRP, magenta candle of doom. Yeah, this one looks a little bit heavier. To be fair, there is no oscillator momentum anymore either. So, and we don't have a higher high on this one, so a little bit weaker than Charlie and ETC. Yeah, this one's actually not my favorite. And I trimmed a little bit yesterday, and I'm going to trim a little bit more of my long exposure because I'm pretty much have been fully committed for a while. And but now just bumping up against 44 and getting those candles, I'm going to lighten up just a tad, just to have a little firepower, maybe to buy some more dippy doodas, and potentially also bail out for a larger correction to have more firepower. Because as we've been talking about on the stream, that 44 to 48,000 level is the major contention zone for Bitcoin. Until it gets above that, we can't go full retard on the upside. You never go full retard. You can't go full. Hey, it's back up. Okay, cool. Thanks for the info, Hellbound. Yeah, stupid freaking gig. I'm putting air quotes now that you can't see, but my gig internet from Spectrum, little bastards. Anyway, digressing here. All right, let's go to XLM. Ouchies, magenta candle. But hey, this one actually did make higher highs, which is very surprising that XRP didn't and XLM did. Is XLM about to take Ribble Me Nipples and Garlic Bread's lunch? Possibly. This actually looks very decent above that upper 11-cent handle. Yes, the magenta candle's there, but structure does trump everything. And with the higher high, higher lows building and the chrono cross, you can't get too mad about this. The only way I really start seeing a lot of these break down is if Mama Bear loses 40K, then we probably get some pretty deeper retraces. Look at Tron. What is it doing here? Is it distributing on that ass? Still got higher highs and higher lows, although just barely holding on here. I think anything below 10 cents, this bitch could easily dump a penny and a half, with the next major support around 8.5 pennies. DOT is kind of lollygagging up here. Yeah, I mean, it still looks pretty damn good, to be fair. And it's finding support above this magenta candle back in the day. Here's an example of one just running and going. Right, also under major resistance. That one was gnarly. But we are just hovering right above it, so I do like that. So temporary short term above 666 is actually pretty damn bullish on DOT. Below that, I mean, we could easily hit 5.5 and then reassess. ADA is actually just mooning right now. Okay, Charles Hodgkinskin is like saying, let's go moon, boys. F Bitcoin. But look at this mega resistance at the 666 pretty much right there on the 200. And also just above that, you do have major structural resistance too. But hey, man, you got to give credit for Mr. Charles here. And above 54 pennies, this is very bullish. Link is finally getting a little bit of selling pressure. So this is the first candle here. We're actually taking out the previous week and a half's business. And so you could argue that the trend is a little bit iced below 1520 on this. And we have no momentum. And we actually haven't had it since back over here. So that's a little bit weaker sauce. Kind of more range bound as far as I'm concerned on this now. We have a new range up here at about 13, lower 13 handle and upper 16 handle. Hey, we were in this one for how long? 2 years, man? Talk about massive Wyckoff accumulation chart there. Spring, boom, bada bang. Very nice. Moving on, EOS. EOS has got a higher high, and it already tested structure back here with the, I mean, this, crazy enough, we were talking about, will EOS ever look really good? Because it's looked like dog shit for so damn long. Never could really get any traction. And now here we are kind of at that juncture of it trying to build a nice, sexy chart. Let's jump out to the weekly. We got some obvious resistance here at about $1 flat. Nothing's new there. But man, the way this is building, it looks real good above like 72-ish cents, something like that. Kind of crazy. This is a pivot point. Is this a buy the dip opportunity right now on crypto land? I think you could argue fairly well that it is. But you also, I think, need to be ready to one, scale in and do tranches because it could easily sell off a little bit more here. Or just have a hard stop and bail because, if we start losing some of these major supports and structures on these charts, we could dip another pretty good amount. I mean, we could see anywhere from 10 to 30% on a lot of these charts. So, you know, unless you scale in, I mean, that's a good way to do it too. I'm a big fan of scaling in and also out of positions for sure. Let's see here. Bitcoin Cash. Ew. It's above 211, so it's okay. But what the hell? It's this 250 to 210 pretty much range it's been in since almost late September, early October. So I mean that's very well defined, range bound to all hell there. BSV, barely holding on, didn't make a higher high, a little bit of weak sauce there, and kind of like what was it? Link's chart actually. We go over to Link. Oh wait, shit. Maybe we can't go to Link. Kind of like Link's chart taking out the previous, week and a half or so of business up here, and just kind of ranging. So until it gets either below 44.40 or back above like 53, it's definitely a little softer than it has been in a hot minute. And what the hell is this weak sauce? Come on. Privacy coins did make a higher high. We are getting a little deeper of a retrace today, selling off, but hey, overall, it still does look fairly okay. We are getting some DMI though, readings that are above 26 into the power zone, which actually hasn't happened since back over here before it broke down. So, that's why I'm cautiously bullish here because if we get any more selling pressure, and especially if Mama starts dipping back below, probably even like 41,000 and gets comfy below there on low time frames, it's probably going to push some of these shit coins to sell off some more. So just be a little cautious, and also I think be ready to buy some dips because macro is still very bullish on Mama Bear. Don't get it twisted. Zcash, gave it all up. Ztrash, I mean, it's still okay above 29, and it's technically a higher high, and we got higher lows. So, I mean, this is a trend line on the way up here for sure, something like that. And as long as this kind of keeps riding, hey, you can't hate on it. Yes, this does look kind of nasty, but hey, the crypto volatility is a lot higher now. Everyone seems to be kind of FOMOing in. So this is kind of chilling out the FOMO. I'm sure y'all were getting messages too in your DMs and texts and emails about the amazing crypto, everything. So the euphoria is definitely coming back for sure. All right, Dash, kind of same thing, but barely incrementally higher high. Still kind of building the chart up though. Another week or so of price above $30 would probably get the Chrono Cross going. It does have major resistance though, like 34. So Dash has been kind of trash for a hot minute. But hey, is this a buying opportunity? You could definitely argue that this is, with about a 4 to 7% stop loss, depending on your risk tolerances and how you like to read the chart, but somewhere in there. And Doji Poo. Doji Poo is barely holding on. You know, that 8-8 area is kind of the line in the sand. We kind of went down there today and got bid back up so far. It still is above the 21, making higher highs, higher lows. Let's go to the weekly real fast. Yeah, you can see it went right up to the 200 and got rejected at 10 cents. 10 cents is no joke. Above 10 cents is moonshot, probably to 14, 20, I would guess. Anything back below, though, again, especially now after the Bulls defending this 21 EMA and this structure right here, anything back below this swing low, which is right at 8.7. It was actually 8.69 when I had it up there. Of course it is. Then we could probably look for another penny and a half, and then we have to really start questioning it if it gets too deep on that guy. STX. Let's see, back below $1, but man, we're still making good structure on the 21, riding shit up. I mean, these look kind of like liquidation breaks for the most part. And, people that were wanting maybe buying opportunities again to buy the dips, you might have got your wishes answered. So, I mean, if this is going to be real moonshotting before, ETF crap that everyone just can't stop talking about, and also the halving in April coming up, which is like 4 months away, um, you know, this shit will just start getting unobtainium, and FOMO can get super real on crypto, especially around the halving. And it's kind of interesting that it's lining up also with potential ETF crap. Someone sent me a article about Google's allowing crypto ads to be done in starting in January. So it seems like we're kind of building a very bullish case for the halving. Now, what happens going up into the halving is going to be, I think, very important with the price action, but we will get to that in the future because we're not exactly sure how that chart's going to build up. XRD had a nice little rally yesterday, but still looking a little bit crappy. Let's see. Yeah, it still looks kind of heavy below 5 pennies, but I mean, the Bulls did try to deny the Bears right here. So you could actually argue this is pretty good re-entry spot with a stop around 4.5, 4.6, somewhere around there. Because we started getting weak below that again. We could easily test the bottom end of this range. V-Chain has been saying suck it. It doesn't care about no selling pressure from Mama Bear. It does have a lot of resistance at about 3.2. But man, this shit looks bullish as hell above 2.5 pennies. There is no other way to slice it. Oh man, V-Chain is doing things. V-Chain doing things. If y'all remember that, if you've been around for a while. All right, let's see. Atom is also pumping hard, 20% yesterday. We are getting some. These aren't vol flashes. It's just showing the volatility is high. When the vol flash comes in, that means it's actually super, super low. But this is actually a red marker saying it's a little excited. Let's see when the last time we had one of those was. Down here, actually, over here, and down here. Maybe I can say here one more time. Anyway, it's just showing some real good momentum, and above 1050, man, this shit looks bullish as hell on Cosmos, just riding the 21 like the Jesus man. Osmos, same thing. Wait, I'm sorry. Atom, I'm mixing them up. Atom is Cosmos. Osmos, it's confusing, I know. Whatever. Y'all get it. Atom and Osmos looks very bullish above 80 cents. I mean, this chart has just telling the bulls to suck all of the wang. Definitely a lot of resistance though at about $1.35, but as long as we stay above that, 80-cent handle, that is definitely the target right now. So looking very sexy time. Ton, what is Ton doing? Ton's trying to hold on. I do like this candle right here. This could be a hammer candle printing up. If it closes like this in the next 6 or so hours, that would really confirm that all these trend line crosses, look how many there are. There's 1, 2, 3, and in the middle of this structure. So there is major support around $2. And if this could close like this, that would actually look pretty good. Now I'd actually look for follow through going to probably at least the 230s. And then if we can get above that, shit, y'all already know 260 and moon to 80,000 million. So pretty good shit there. Polygon is all right. Is this a little hook pattern trying to get the party started? Yeah, man. You could say that is, but any price below 74, oof, nasty. If that happens, I would look for a swift sell-off of probably 10 to 15 cents or so. If we did lose these little swing lows, especially this nice hammer candle right here with the body at 75 cents or just shy of 75 cents. Yeah, and I don't like that this didn't make a higher high. That's a little bit of a clue that the bulls are kind of struggling here, and you can see that on oscillators as well. They have no momentum on either DMI or RSI. So short term, yeah, definitely not too bad. But on this, I would make a super hard stop if I were to enter this trade at about 77-ish cents. If you had a little bit more risk tolerance, then obviously that 74 handle would be the absolute line in the sand for me on that. Oh my gosh, we're over 4,700. Who would have thunk it? The market just keeps going up and telling everybody to absolutely suck it. We are going to probably stall. Still on the rates, I mean, it was like 99%. The Fed fund futures are rarely ever wrong. I can't even think of the last time that they were wrong. Um, but man, this thing is just keeps churning all the way to its target almost. It's only freaking 30, but pretty much 40 points away to that 47 and change area, which is just shy of its all-time high of about 48. But if we got comfortable above this 47.40 area, I mean, I don't know how we wouldn't go make a new high. I mean, this looks bullish as hell above 46.30-ish. Cannot hate on it. Maybe if you went on to the lower time frames, you could ratchet that up to like, 46.70 or so. But, that's getting into crack time frames, and that starts getting very messy when you get into the crack time frames. NASDAQ. Oh man, above its horizontal, we hit that 16.540 area. I mean, what? Everyone's probably like, how could this happen? All-time high just around 16. I mean, we're literally only 150 points away from an all-time high. So kind of funny that it's happening right here in an hour, a couple hours ish, right before the FOMC. Santa time? Is it Santa continuation rally to the moon or what? Yeah, I think so. As long as we're above about 16,480, looks very good. Let's go to the weekly. Man, crazy. Beast mode bulls, dude. The Dow is all-time highs. Yes, that is correct. The Dow is at all-time highs officially now. Will it get a daily open and close above there? I think it actually already did yesterday. Let's see. Yeah, it did yesterday. Wow. So, holy crap. We did it, boys. The Bulls made it happen. Now, one thing that is kind of concerning about this structure is look at the slope of this, man. It is pretty. You can't. I mean, yeah, you could get a little bit more straight if it was like this, but I mean, this is about as straight up as it gets. So that's a little bit concerning. But hey, man, there's not even divergence or nothing. I mean, it is just all strength, and can't overthink this shit because you can get paralysis by analysis. So just let the chart guide us, right? And above freaking 36,600, this shit is bullish AF, dude. Let's zoom in on the 3 hour. Yeah, about the 3 hours in the 3600 handle as well. You could make a decent argument for this little area here at 36.8. So let's call it 36.6 to 36.8 is a very important level for the Bulls to defend on the shorter term structure. And then long term is obviously this horizontal breakout at about just over 36,000 straight. Oh, snap. Look at this. We got to 1900. Look, we're in our little double area of horizontals, tapped the top one, and now we're actually breaching back below the other one. Let's see. Oh, crap. I meant to go to 3 hour. This little gap here. I mean, this still looks really good above 1880. And there's going to be obvious resistance here. This is kind of that pivot point we were talking about on Monday and last week. If we could get over 1900 on the Russell, I would be looking for pretty much continuation and making new highs on all the majors, as the Russell generally is a little bit slower than most of the other ones, like the other majors. So if we got over that and got confirmation, it's also more related to the economy too than the other indexes. As y'all have noticed, they don't really correlate too well to the economy. Anyway, above 1900 on a daily open and close, especially a weekly, I would be looking for Santa to bring big bull presents. Is the DAX still running? No, it finally stalled out a little bit, but still looks really good above 1666. 666, 1 and 4 sixes. As long as it's above that, pretty damn sexy. And we have a weekly open and close at all-time highs. So I mean, dude, yeah, that above that 16.6 handle is uber bullish for the shorter term. And macro, hold on, what is macro on the DAX? Probably splitting all these candles. So pretty much the 16,000 handle in general on the macro is super bullish. VIX is $12 freaking dollars, y'all. Look at this crap. We ended up breaching even lower on the VIX. Who would have thought could go lower? VVIX is still hovering above 80, though, surprisingly. This is the one thing that's kind of like, the bears just hiding real quick and get one last meal before they go into hibernation. I don't know. Maybe. This is a little bit sus, if you will. And don't mind this. This is just contract roll stuff. So funny that it went all the way to 1230 and now it's popping back above 1330. But just like nat gas, this happens too. So you can't put any weight on that. Earl is still selling off. Jesus Christ, back in the 69 handle. Hell yeah. Look where this wick went today, though. I'm sorry. Look where this tail went today. Almost at the very bottom of the range. Man, when did that happen? I kind of wish I would have saw that live. It's probably overnight. Oh yeah, and the Euro session opened at 2 a.m. So definitely wasn't watching that. I want a long oil down here, but pretty bad. But I'm just like, I'm overthinking it. Kind of. I should probably just do some small, like sell some puts on XOM or like a oil stock, or maybe just use what's the USO is a little bit better now because I think they split it and made it not like $4. Yeah, so they split it. So maybe some USO call spreads or sell some puts down here around 60, something like that, to kind of lower the risk. But I do think this is a good spot for some oil longing, if you will, with the obvious hard stop right over here at about 669. Yeah. Nat gas. Poor nat gas. Getting acceptance on the lows. That's not good for the bulls. Below 250, this is pretty heavy. So I wouldn't even look for longs on this until we started at least getting attempts above 250. The bonds, hey, look, they're still trying to rally, but I hate trading in this area when you're squeezed up by the short term and the long term moving averages, and especially when you're in the middle of them. That is like 50-50 propositions there. And of course, it's still in a downtrend overall. So I guess you could kind of lean to the downside on that, but I hate taking trades in that range. Really would like to see it above 122 for the bulls. And above pretty much 112 on the 10-year TMF. We can skip that. You know what? I'm actually just going to take this off because whatever. Dixie, because it's just a representation 3x of the bonds anyway. So Dixie's just hovering here around that 103 handle, getting rejected. Look at we were talking about 104.50 being mega resistance, and we are barely even able to get above like 104.30, which is still way lower than back over here in mid-November. So, yeah, not too great on that one. We'll see. Probably get some big moves after the Fed gets out of the way, because then we won't have one for, till next year, all the way into next year. TNX, again, watch this for crossing over that 150 level. Even like, I'm sorry, what the hell? 150, 450. Even slight caution, probably above like 435. This is the 10-year yield, and we've been watching this a lot, and it's been pretty good about signaling for sell-offs. Right now, though, in the middle of no man's land too, like the bonds, right? Because it's inverted of that. Anyway, 107 looks pretty good, above 107 on the euro, but I don't really trade Forex that much, so I might just take that off too, because whatever. Gold hovering right here above 1989. Let's see, weekly. So it's okay still. We made higher highs. We just had a quick liquidation break. You could, like we were talking about Monday, you could argue that this is a buying zone, though, with the stop probably around like 1940-ish. At least for me, that's how I'd kind of trade it. Higher highs, it's trying. It's got the chrono cross, although it's starting to lose it a little bit, but it's still mostly sexy above that 1940, 1950 area. Silver, though, Jesus, man. God dang, silver. What the hell? Maybe it's time to actually load up on some SLV puts. Let's see. Ooh, I actually might do that. I might sell the 20 2050 put or something like that. I don't know if, let me see real quick. Let me see something real quick. I don't know if they do. I'm just looking at my broker over here real quick. Yeah, they do halves. All right, so cool. So they have a 20. I thought that they did. So it's the 21 2050 put possibly selling here. I might actually do that because this is a pretty nice horizontal, good support. And you know you're wrong pretty quick if it just starts even getting comfy below. Definitely anything below $20. Platinum, trying to base out here, trying to build a saucer. Maybe we're in the middle of it or something, but below 950, don't care. GDX, that's also a good way to get exposure, and the options on this are super liquid. GDX, GDXJ in very similar positions. Man, full round trip already, just up, down. That kind of sucks. All right, let's see. I've got to wrap it up here. What time is it? Oh yeah, 11:30. Okay. For the wrap up, Mama Bear, just keep building this chart. Keep riding on that 21. If this could, generally, what I'm looking for right now with this magenta candle up here is by Sunday, the weekly close, I would like to see this taken back over. And if that were to happen, I would be super bullish and looking for 48,000 easily on Bitcoin. Now, if we start stalling out here, like today, and let's say if we pull the fib on just the magenta candle, the 618 is at 42.5. We start stalling out at like 42, mid 42 handle and start rolling back over, this daily 21 will quickly catch up and we will start closing below it. And that would look kind of bad for short-term bulls. And we could probably look for a 38,000 test. And that's going to be a real important zone, that upper 30 handle, if we do get down there for the bulls. And again, GBDC, it's already engulfing the, oh, hold on. It's already engulfing the magenta candle, has a potential to do it today. And I would put some good weight on the bulls if they did that. That would actually be real sexy. We still got almost 4 hours, though, for that. So, but keep an eye on GBDC. It is kind of the whisperer of Bitcoin. It called bullshit on the $69,000 top. It's done it a few other times. We've talked about that. Many streams. Ethereum is good above 2100, so as long as it's above 2100, this is still a good structure. What makes it bad structure, just like Bitcoin, if we start breaching this 21 and start building candles below 2140, then we can start looking for retests. And just like Bitcoin's 38,000, unicorn shirt, man, best stay above 2K on this shorter term, or on the macro. I'm sorry, getting my words confused here. The words. Yeah, 2000 is the macro level, because back below 2000, y'all, we just go back in this stupid range, and we could just be lollygagging in there for hell, who knows how long. We did it for a year or so on most coins. So yeah, I don't think that that's likely, just because the halving and all the stuff coming up in earlier next year. So it should be a fun ride. At minimum, get your popcorn ready and strap in, right? And equities are already doing their thing. We already kind of did that. Above 4,600 is uber bullish on the macro. Shorter term, probably about 4660-ish, like we were saying earlier. And I think that's it, man. Much love. I hope you have a happy hump day. Oh, just kidding. One thing I do want to look at is we got to look at our index here. This is another thing I want to see pick up with GBDC from Monday's close. I really want to see GBDC, Mama Bear, and this regain Monday's candles. And this is about 650. You can see it's kind of lagging out a little bit, and even has a little red crosses up here, which is indicating also temporary little tops. Cores is at 666. Man, if you already have this, man, you already know. Be careful with this one. They might even change the tickers and all this shit in January. If I don't know shit, so whatever. I'm not a financial advisor, but man, holding this, I do think is very dangerous into the new year. And if you got some tendies on it, this little pump might be giving you an opportunity. So, It's just kind of dangerous to hold through all that shit. You're very welcome, Mr. Hellbound. You have a great day as well. All right, much love, guys. I will catch y'all on Friday. Happy hump day. This is No Noise. I am Z Rex. Peace.